The Philadelphia 76ers. I don't get why there hasn't been much talk about them. Is it because a lot of people were hating on James Harden from the start? Is it because they don't want to acknowledge the greatness of Joel Embiid? Or is it that Tyrese Maxey is an underrated star at the moment? Or is it that this team is starting to really mesh together and that they are second in the Eastern Conference? I don't really know. But over here, we're going to shine a light on the good that goes on around the league, and even if there is bad things, we'll do our best to investigate it respectfully. But through injuries and people being in and out the lineups, this team has really been putting it together. The three-headed snake of James Harden, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey are propelling this team right now and are looking to make great things happen as we roll into the back half of the season. Harden has been very elite when it comes to his facilitating on the court and is putting up points when needed. Joel is scoring at will whenever he chooses, being a dominant force, and whether he comes off the bench or if he starts the game, Maxey is a fantastic spark for the team. Over the last 24 games, the 76ers have went 20-4 at the time of recording this and are on a 7-game winning streak, beating the Jazz, Lakers, Clippers, Trailblazers, Kings, the Nets, and now the Denver Nuggets. Now I already know there's going to be those people that jump out quick and say a couple of those wins were against easy teams and blah 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 blah. Well, I would argue that most of those teams are competitive on a nightly basis, and in the NBA you can't just write off any team completely, as every night the opposition has the chance to beat you. For the Sixers, when you have a guy like Joel who is putting up MVP numbers for his third year in a row, a passing savant like Harden who is looking to make it easier for his teammates on the court, and a young guy in Maxey who is energetic and plays with such confidence, you really must make something special happen with this unit. And through all the drama and backlash received, the 76ers have really pushed through and are on the right track. When the trio of Maxey, Harden, and Embiid are all on the court at the same time, which hasn't happened too often this season as they've only logged 16 games together, through 17 minutes a game shared on the court, they shoot 50% from the field, 40% from deep, and 87% from the stripe. Now I know the sample size of games is limited due to injuries and guys missing games and just being out the lineup and stuff, but when you see when they step on the court together, this trio means nothing but business. What gets the offense in a flow state scoring with ease is how well Harden can get it to his teammates on the floor. No matter where and when the opening presents itself, Harden can thread it to the open man, leading them to an easy bucket. When you have a point guard who is focused more so on the betterment of the team rather than self-accolades, this is when you really can see a team start to really strive. Ball movement, setting up plays, pacing the game, all of these things are key skill sets your lead guard must possess offensively, and if he doesn't, it can lead to subpar offensive possessions or just in totality make it hard for the team to get going. The drop in scoring for Harden isn't because he can't shoot anymore or he's not the same like people have said, it's because he's now more focused on dictating the pace of the game and spreading the wealth. At the moment, Harden is dishing out 11 assists on 3 turnovers per game and holds an assist percentage of 45%, which is second in the league behind Tyrese Halliburton at 46.3%, but then when we look at his usage rate, it's only 24.7%, and that lands Harden at the 42nd spot in the league amongst all guards with at least 20 games played. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, whatever, enough with the numbers, what's the point to it? Well, it just shows you how much Harden is catering to the team as far as setting them up for easy buckets, but he's not having to have the ball in his hands excessively to do so. If you ask me, this is exactly what I would want from my offensive leader, because not only is Harden able to dime up teammates at a high level, but when he's operating in that mid-range, he's very efficient, and when he's shooting that 3-ball, he's knocking it down at a decent rate. So you get a scorer and a passer, that's exactly what I want. So far, Harden has knocked down 54% of his 48 attempts from the in-between area this season, and he's knocking down 38% of his 7 3-point attempts per game. So he's really not only that passing threat that people think, but he can score the ball from wherever he wants on the floor and break down the defense more methodically. James can slow the pace down and make something happen, but he can also play at higher speeds, and this flows right into Tyrese Maxey's game. Through 29 games this season, Maxey is averaging 21 points on shooting splits of 45% from the field and 40% from deep on 6 attempts per game. Yeah, I know, he's really playing at a high level right now. The speed at which Maxey moves on the court dismantles the defense completely and gets him these easy buckets at the rim. So far this season, Maxey is converting 58% of his shots in the restricted area, and on all driving layups, Maxey has converted 50% of his 92 attempts. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say these are eye-catching numbers, but they are decent enough to cause a problem for the defense, so Maxey should continue to attack the paint. He's very straight to it with his approach off the dribble, and then when getting to the rim, he can be super creative with his finishes. When looking at just strictly the stats, it can get boring, and most of all, it doesn't just tell the whole story. With Maxey, you get so much more than what shows up in the books. You get a ball of energy that brings excitement to the floor. From running all around the court to then catch it and take a defender to the rack, then to come off screens to pull up right away, or even operate from the outside and drill it right over the defense. Honestly, Maxey can do it all, and he looks comfortable while he does it. Only in his third year, Maxey is taking yet another jump in his game, and it's amazing to see. The confidence he has to go out there and just play freely is great for someone so young in their career, and you can see just how well it helps the 76ers team. Coming back off an injury, Maxey has been looking very good, and through the whole 29 games he's played this season, he's on track to have a great year. But there is someone who has been having great years, and particularly I would say 3 in a row. You have Joel Embiid. Embiid is playing at such a high level, a full player analysis will be dedicated to him very soon. The way Joel can just go score whenever he wants is demoralizing for any defense on any given night. His 7-foot, 280-pound body allows him to move defenders out the way with such ease that they really just can't stop him. I mean, what are you going to do when Embiid uses the shoulder or his whole body to just bump you out the way to then finish at the rim? I mean, maybe you put a big with strength on him, or maybe you put a big with length. I don't really know, but either way, it's pretty hard to stop Embiid down low. The restricted area is like a second home for Embiid where he just can't be denied as he converts nearly 72% of his 252 attempts. It can be off back downs, takes off the dribble, or cuts to the rim, and off either of these options, Embiid can go put 2 points on the board and start jogging back the other way. It's very rare you see a big decisive Embiid move the way he does, and that's what makes him very special. He has underrated footwork when he's creating a way to get to the rim, and he can also be crafty with the moves he pulls out to draw fouls. Now before some of you start saying, he flops, he flops, he flops. Okay, I do understand that he kinda does sometimes, but let's be honest, he does get hacked a lot and makes the most of it. Joel gets to the line 11 times a game, and when getting there he knocks down 85% of his shots, so you really don't want to send him to shoot those free ones. But since his size is such a factor and more times than not he has the advantage, Embiid will continuously get to the rim and cause tons of trouble for the opposing team. It doesn't just stop there as Embiid can score the ball at all 3 levels pretty effectively at decent levels. How many bigs do you really see around the league rising up from deep, knocking it down comfortably, pulling up in the mid-range off a hezzy to sink it, or decide, hey, I want to get an easy bucket and just plow through to go score in the inside? I mean, honestly, it's really not that many that can do what Embiid does. And on 33 points a night with shooting splits of a 56% effective field goal percentage and 64% true shooting percentage, you really can't ask for much more. Embiid definitely has been worthy of an MVP, and with the way he's been playing right now, I mean, he definitely has a strong case to be the MVP this year. There was a lot of talk if Harden and Embiid would work well and if the Sixers would really be good or not, and honestly, I've always thought they could mesh together, and we are now seeing this. Adding in the spark plug and Tyrese Maxey helps so much, and his energy oozes onto everyone on the floor, making them play at a faster pace. This isn't the typical deep dive analytical breakdown, but it's more of a man cave talk where we just reflecting on what we've been seeing. I definitely think the 76ers can make a solid run in the playoffs if they keep building on the chemistry, and so far we have been seeing them build this up greatly. What do you think about the 76ers though? You gotta let me know. Will they make a nice run? Will they continue to keep playing like this? Will they choke in the playoffs like people say? Will they be average? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this James Harden analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.